Hey, what's up everyone? Basil, the White Dragon Masters. Okay, a movie that everybody in the whole world has been wanting to see for probably 100 years because it's never happened. So guess what? I'm here and I saw a movie that's considered epic, okay? Batman versus Superman, Dawn of Justice. Let's start off quickly by showing you guys this beautiful poster. My second all-time favorite superhero, Batman. My all-time favorite is always going to be the Incredible Hulk, but Batman is number 2 and he's probably the best. Why? Because he's a martial arts expert and he's a genius. His sidekick, of course, Alfred. I don't even know why he's in the poster. Yeah, the pretty boy, Superman, not my favorite superhero. But yeah, well, I'll give him credit, he's good looking, okay? But it's not my favorite superhero. The whining, crying, Lois Lane, Amy Adams, always getting in the way, stopping the guy from doing his job. Psychotic, crazy, fuck, Alexander Luthor, Lex Luthor's son. And then of course you got the Wonder Woman, special Wonder Woman. Let's go down and maybe get a wider shot where we can get everybody. But let's start off, guys, with the actual movie review, White Dragon's movie review. I'm sorry, guys, I have to be honest with you. I think I hyped this movie in my head. I was waiting for it for years, right, when they first talked about it. Batman vs. Superman, right? Number one, I'm Team Batman. Unfortunately, I didn't get my Bat shirt on time, otherwise I would have worn that instead of the Joker. So this is the closest thing I could wear to Batman, but I wore it because I wanted to support Batman the entire time, right? Now, let's start out with the actual review. How do you start? Where do you start? I mean, this movie, in your mind, you have a completely different image. And when you see it, this was a little disappointing. I'm being generous. It was quite disappointing for me, this actual film. First of all, let me rate it. And I'm honest to God, guys, I'm giving this a very, very generous rating. It should have been a 6 out of 10. I'm giving it a 7 out of 10 just out of the mercy of all the hard work that these guys must have put in the production. Let's first of all start off with the issues with this movie. The story, guys. This is obviously, according to the comic, this is the beginning of Justice League. Justice League, if you know, is the combo of Batman, Superman, The Flash, Aquaman, and Wonder Woman. And there's another I can't remember. That's the Justice League. This is the Dawn of Justice, which is basically the beginning of Justice League. So this wasn't really just a battle of conflicts between two alpha males, such as Batman and Superman. That wasn't what it was about. It was somewhat, they jived it in. Now let me explain to you where the issue is. The story was just all over the fucking place. All over the place. I mean, let's start off with the movie first. The film, I mean, the first hour and 15 minutes was so boring. I mean, for Christ's sake, guys, this is a superhero movie. And honestly, I understand that it can't just be action the entire time, but I swear, the build-up, sometimes these guys, they killed the audience with the build-up. I was literally yawning and looking at everybody else. They were just like sitting there, waiting for something to happen. And honest to God, the only time really when something picked up was when Batman and Superman went at it. So, number one, the story was just fucking crazy. It was all over the damn place. Like, so much was going on. Metropolis, Gotham, Batman, Superman. I mean, and how they wanted it. The problem is the tie-in, the way they tied it in, was just bad. I mean, it was bad. Wonder Woman, really? I mean, I can't even explain how disappointed I was with the way they tied her in. She just came out like from the woodworks, literally like a genie. She wasn't even, her inception in the movie was just badly done. I mean, you expect a lot from Christopher Nolan because he's a great director. You expect a lot from a cast like a cast like the guy who played Batman. I mean, shoot, Henry Cavill. I mean, you expect a lot from these guys, and it's just that when you see it, it becomes disappointing. The issue, again, besides the story, is the epic battle and how they built it up. It was stupid, literally stupid, how they made that whole thing happen. But fine, fair enough. It's a superhero movie. I'll cut them some slack. The biggest issue was the miscasts. We all know that when you think Batman from the very beginning, this was an issue from the very beginning, and a lot of people were not really happy with Ben Affleck playing Batman. Nobody was happy. After somebody like Christian Bale has played Batman, it's a different. He's just set it to a whole different level. Christian Bale is when you imagine Batman. You really don't imagine Ben Affleck, which is why this thing sort of went down a little bit for me from the very beginning. Oh, it's Ben Affleck, but Ben Affleck is a great actor. He did it. Ben tried his best. He really did. He tried to do a good job. I'm not going to knock him for that. He did a good job. He did a great job actually for trying to do what he could. But he was still a miscast to represent Batman. Alfred, honestly. Alfred looks like a beat-up version of Robert Downey Jr. to me. He's a miscast too. Really, he doesn't look. Look at the Alfred in the cartoons. Look at the Alfred in comic books. It's nowhere near like this guy. Henry Cavill, Superman. Yes, he's probably the only guy who fits the character of Superman. You know, besides the late Christopher Reeves. Excuse me, not Christopher Lee. Christopher Reeves. He was the perfect Superman, and nobody looked like the perfect Superman from the 1980s movies of Superman, which was by Christopher Reeves. But Henry Cavill, beautiful depiction of Superman, good-looking guy, definitely fit the role. Acting is great too. We'll come to that in a second. Amy Adams, who played Lois Lane. Personally, I think Amy Adams was always a miscast for Lois Lane. You don't imagine her as Lois Lane. Again, when you look at the comic book and you look at the cartoons, you don't imagine Lois Lane, Amy Adams playing Lois Lane. She just doesn't match. She does not match playing Lois Lane. She just doesn't. I don't even know what they were doing with this character. Lex Luthor is the main villain, and he's a bald old guy. And this guy, I don't know what to say about this guy. Alexander Luthor, son of the late Lex Luthor, right? Psychotic guy. As far as he's concerned, he was a major part in this movie. I don't know if he's a miscast or not, because honestly I can't remember Lex Luthor ever having a son, but they gave it a good twist to his character. And then, of course, we come down to Wonder Woman. Mm-hmm. Probably one of the biggest miscasts in superhero history, in my opinion. And I'll tell you, she's obviously a miscast because, number one, she's not American. Number two, she doesn't look like Wonder Woman whatsoever. The only person who looked like Wonder Woman is probably Megan Fox, and they should have taken her, hopefully. Or Olivia Wilde. And then let's talk quickly about now the most important part of this. The fourth problem, which was the acting. Now, guys, acting, clearly. Everybody knows Ben Affleck is a great actor, so, you know, he tried his best to portray Bruce Wayne the best he could. So, great acting, Ben Affleck. Alfred, it didn't matter. Really, didn't matter. His acting was normal, nothing special. Henry Cavill, great job. Perfect, like I said, perfect Superman, perfect depiction, perfect acting, great. Amy Adams, whatever. She's an annoying character. Lex Luthor, pretty decent job playing a psychotic guy. Pretty decent job. And unfortunately, whoever played Wonder Woman, I don't even know her name, but horrible acting. Awful actress. Honestly, probably one of the worst actresses I've ever seen, especially in this movie. I mean, she did not fit. For Christ's sake, she had an accent. She's from Israel. She has an accent. She's not even American. It's mind-boggling how they could cast somebody who has an accent to play a superhero in America. It's weird. At least have somebody who can do an American accent. When Henry Cavill can do an American accent when he's a British boy. Come on, guys, level with me here. Seriously, this was ludicrous. So these are some of the problems. The biggest issues are, again, the story was all over the place. Way too much ketchup on the burger. Too much action. The fight choreography, guys. This is what happens every time you hire someone to play a superhero or a martial artist, and they are not really martial artists. You have to really find doubles to do that. Ben Affleck is not a real martial artist. Neither is Henry Cavill. And the problem is that when you do have people doing martial arts that are not martial artists, you can clearly see as a martial artist that they're not martial artists, and it looks bad. Now, the climax of this scene, this whole movie was obviously Superman versus Batman. So again, guys, the epic battle, the main thing that we were all here for, right? Batman versus Superman. Team Batman, of course, against Superman. That fight choreography was bad. You're imagining 100 miles an hour type action, like one of those old school kung fu Donnie Yen movies, or even if it's conventional stuff, it's gotta look really nice. The fight choreography for this movie, you guys judge it for yourself, man. It was not good. It didn't live up to my expectation not whatsoever. Really, I'm surprised. Even though I won't tell you what the results were, but you'll clearly know who won the fight when you see the fight. Apart from that adrenaline rush that you got, the action sequences from this movie were just really, they weren't really there. They didn't live up to the standard of what you imagine for a superhero movie. When they showed them, all three of them, the Justice League taking on Doomsday, or taking on the main villain, it was too much lighting, too much special effects. Really, they dumbed it down. It became a game of just lights, really. A lot of action, but a lot of lights. And, as we know, superheroes are fighting characters. There was fighting going on, but they could have improved it so much more. I truly, truly hope and pray that Part 2 or Justice League that comes up ends up being a great film. For me, guys, for now, Batman vs. Superman, Dawn of Justice, definitely check it out. Watch it in 3D. That's the only way you're going to enjoy it. I was trying to get the 4DX, but 3D and IMAX is when you're going to enjoy it. So check it out. It's worth a watch, but not what you're expecting. At least not what I was expecting. 7 out of 10. Basil the White Dragon Master out.